Live from San Antonio, Mike Taylor.
So years and years ago, I was at my dad's house, and they were like, "You guys want to go to the movies?" This is before I even moved to San Antonio, I think. Yeah, it certainly was. And it was just a random weeknight, and I had read about a couple of movies that I had been wanting to see, but I guess I didn't read thoroughly enough.
What, did you go see Boogie Nights?
I sure did.
Yes.
So I saw Boogie Nights with my dad and my stepmom. Boogie Nights, sitting next to my stepmom, sharing popcorn.
You know, Hunter...
Not good. I regretted it.
What's his name? William H. Macy character. I'm sure you and your stepmom bonded over that guy's life for years.
I don't know if it was the scene where
she's laying
little Bill blew his head off, or had to witness his wife getting asked in the fuck by random guys all the time, or
just laying on the sidewalk waiting to get gangbang.
Yeah, maybe the roller girl scene with Mark Wahlberg. Pick a scene. I sat there and I watched it with my stepmom and my father.
Let me ask you, which is worse? Would you rather watch Boogie Nights with your parentals or Risky Business?
Risky Business. It's debaucherous, but it's 80s debaucherous. Boogie Nights was funny, but it was pornographic.
Sure, but you can at least laugh at the absurdity of the level of pornography.
Dude.
Like, I don't ever want to be in the same room with my parents again watching Tom Cruise get laid on a subway.
God, that was a great scene.
It was a great scene.
For like 12-year-old me.
It's true. Or when she first walks into the house and the doors just swing open and he's just sitting there on the couch like, oh my God, it's actually going to happen.
I watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High with my grandmother.
That's an easy one.
Talked her into taking me to see that.
Yeah, that one's fine.
The glorious pool scene with the chick in the red top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was Phoebe Cates?
Phoebe Cates.
Yeah.
P-H-O-E-B-E, Phoebe.
Can anyone get some goddamn privacy around here anymore?
It's Taylor Live. How you boys doing? We were talking about awkward moments with parental units in movie theaters, and I knew the premise of Boogie Nights, but it got all this acclaim. Burt Reynolds was making his comeback. He was getting Oscar buzz.
I don't think you ever could have expected.
It was that
right.
pornorific.
You never could have expected it to be. Even the first time I saw Boogie Nights and I'd had people tell me what it was, I still didn't expect literally half the scenes in that movie.
It was insane. And of course, I was raised by Grandma Becky, as you know, so I saw many movies with her, and I was desensitized. So I could have watched porn with her in the room,
and it was fine
wouldn't
at that
matter.
point.
Because it was Grandma Becky. It is what it is. So.
See, I think that's.
But my grandmother, no, my stepmom, that was weird.
That's a little weird. I think that's something we both share, like having parents that were teenagers when they had us. Mm-hmm. It makes that age like there's a lot of gray area of watching a movie. Like you kind of just feel like you're watching movies with your friends.
Yeah, I think they had like the 10-year reunion or the 10-year anniversary of The Exorcist, and my mother took 4-year-old me or whatever the 10-year anniversary was, 82, 83, to Cherry Lane Drive-In in White Settlement, Texas. Yeah. The old school drive-in where you had to get the speaker and clip it to your door.
Oh yeah.
And the sound was terrible. Stick your blanket in her ass. Coming out of that little tiny speaker. I'm 5.
Yeah, sure.
Watching The Exorcist. Now, that one was disturbing.
Yes, yeah.
That was before I got desensitized. By 10, I could watch anything with her. But at that time, I was not desensitized, and it gave me nightmares for 30 years.
What's the worst movie? Because we've got the chat blowing up now. A couple, Carl Schoening saying he went and saw Wolf of Wall Street with his dad. That's a pretty good one.
Was your mom there though, Carl?
That's the difference.
With your pops,
maker.
It's fun.
The pops is fine.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite memories of childhood is having my dad chastise me and a buddy for not watching or for watching Something About Mary.
Right.
And my mom and dad chewed me out, blah, 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 up and down. And then the next time my mom went out of town, my dad was like, so y'all want to watch Something About Mary? We watched it with him. He's like, you can't say a word. Right. And it was fun. Like watching a movie with your dad is way different.
Doing shit that'll get you in trouble with your mother, but doing it with your father and it being okay is kind of a rite of passage for sons and dads. As a father should let his son do some dumb shit, Supervised, of course. Watch some silly stuff. I mean, I'm not saying watch porn when your kid's 12, but go shoot some birds, do some stupid shit, Maybe your son goes in the bar with you while you have a couple of buds with your buds while your son's sitting there shooting pool. That's kind of
harmless.
a thing.
Yeah.
You feel like a grown-up doing that with your pops. It's a bonding thing.
Well, it goes back to the first time you're shaving, standing next to your pops, and you've got nothing to shave, but he's letting you actually shave.
Yeah.
It's that bonding.
Sure, because if you can sit there in a bar, play pool, and eat cheap microwave pizza while your dad's drinking beer with his buddies and you're in the background, or you watch Risky Business with your pops, that makes it more comfortable when there's serious things to talk about with your old man. In theory, it should go that way.
It should.
Doesn't always.
But
it should go that way.
It should.
Yeah, so.
And I thought I had laid quite a bit of groundwork to accomplish that in my early life, but it should go that way.
Yeah.
It's still hit or miss.
No bullshit, the first time I smoked with my dad, that was a thing. Pot, I mean.
Yeah, sure.
Shared a joint with my old man. That was something. That was cool.
One of the
that
best,
certainly helped our relationship.
I can imagine when those first couple of years as you've graduated high school, but you're still a college kid that's living still in pretty close conjunction with your parents. I mean, they're still either helping you in some measurement, whether it's full. I had buddies that were on the parent tit for 5 years after high school, others that were off it within 6 months.
Yep.
But that 18-month to 2-year period where you're 18 to 20, you're not yet 21, but you're a college kid. So you're drinking, but you can't buy it yet. You've got bud.
It's a bit of a no man's land.
It is. And the first time all of us were back at my parents' house, back in my childhood home, first winter break of college, and we're all playing poker. My buddy's sitting there just rolling a blunt, and my dad walks in, and my buddy just freezes. He's like, I don't know what to do here. I don't know what to do. And my dad's like, I'm about to run to Pronto's. Y'all need anything? And my buddy's holding. He's like, well, this is our last blunt. So
some papers.
You want to get some?
And he bought it? Yeah.
It was great.
That's great.
It was the closest I'm going to get. Like, my dad doesn't burn like that. But I feel like that was the moment where I was like, okay. Like,
correct.
There's no more hostility here.
Yes. And in theory, when you get older and you need to talk to your dad about something serious, hopefully that lays the foundation to make it easier, like sex or whatever.
You'd like me some glory hole. When you need to talk to him about glory holes, it makes it easier.
Dad, let's sit down here and talk about glory holes.
Let's talk about Korean bathhouses.
All right, it's Taylor Live. How you boys doing? That's a rhetorical question. It's Friday, and I hope we're all doing well. It's weird that it's Friday already because the goofball holiday on Tuesday. It is the 7th of July already, in this never-ending strange time we share together, 20 and 23. It is Taylor. We are on YouTube. We are on Spotify. You can subscribe to our thing for free. You can become a member for $6 a month, and we've now up to, 30-something members already? Paid members? Shit.
Hey, we're nipping at the heels of Threads.
At some point, we're going to come up with some extra material to provide members only.
At some point.
Some late-night get-together. Get a bunch of dudes in here and just open the mics. Do something different.
Sure.
Something
special. Unique.
A members-only show. You can tip this show if you want to. Feel free to do so by jumping into the super chat and giving us a few bucks. So that'd be cool. Pay for gas money and such. And a lot of it goes right back into this scene we have here at LG Studios, production-wise, and we appreciate anything helps. You can also give us a tip if you go to buymeacoffee.com/Mike Taylor Live. You can also leave us a voicemail on Spotify now. You can also leave us a comment on Spotify. Pretty good times, man. So thank you, boys, for jumping on here. We are into episode, 92 or 93 overall, I want to say. But this is the end of the third week of us doing this on our own. And so far, fingers are crossed, which, by the way, I've got a couple of sales calls that you're going to make with me when this is over today.
Oh, nice.
On the phone. You don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah,
we're going to call some dudes up. All right. We don't have to call my boy Brad because he's already on board. So happy to have new Thunderdome partner, Hardwick Mortgage. My boy Brad at Hardwick Mortgage. If you need a mortgage, man, it's Brad Hardwick. I met him just, 2 weeks ago. And the next day, he was like, I want to jump on board, and I can't thank him enough. And so let's get this dude some business. Anybody who needs a mortgage dude, Thunderdome's official mortgage dude is my guy at Hardwick. Call him up if you're thinking about, upgrading a new place. Maybe you're wondering how much you can afford. Maybe you need to get something different. Call Brad to get pre-qualified. Home values in this area, of course, have done nothing but go up significantly over the years. You can use equity in your current home to pay off other debts. Maybe you want to sell and get some cash in your pocket. Brad can help with that at Hardwick Mortgage. Maybe you're looking just to do some land stuff. He does houses, he does acreage, land, farm, whatever it is. It is Hardwick Mortgage. Information there on the screen. If you're listening and not watching, it's hardwickmortgage.com. Hardwickmortgage.com. Thank you, Brad. Okay. The ass whip of the week. I know we do it. Normally we do ass whips on Tuesdays, but man, have you see Britney Spears has now released a long thing on her Instagram page to discuss the trauma that she underwent the other day? This Wemby, Britney situation, not even a fucking situation. And poor Wemby's like, I didn't even know it was her. Somebody, he didn't even know till later on it was even Britney Spears who tried to grab him on the back or the shoulder or whatever.
Well,
what a beating. This whole thing.
The fact that we have only heard from him and no one else from within the organization, that should not be how this is handled, in my opinion. I mean, that is a very, very poor PR move on the Spurs. Just throwing him out there instead of having an official statement from the organization or any kind of statement from anyone else associated with the Spurs. Well, and just having the 19-year-old kid answer questions.
And he was fine with it.
He was.
Their statement
good.
is not releasing a statement.
Right.
We don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and see that's
how the Spurs have always been.
Yeah, but this is not how it what this is not, flipping someone off at a Walgreens. Like this is like you've got a guy that is going to make national news if he farts on an airplane. Like, you're going to have to handle things differently now.
Well, you're right about that. Whether or not they should release a statement or run Matt Nielsen or whoever the coach is in Vegas out there is debatable, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but I don't care that they didn't. And clearly they trust Wembanyama, They knew he was going to get asked about it, and he chuckled it off, and they went back to basketball matters.
Which arguably is the greatest takeaway from all of this, seeing him handle his first blip of controversy.
He's 19 in age, but not in mind.
No.
He's a mature kid.
No, he is a totem of his universe, for sure.
Thank you. Okay. So I was just thinking about this. This is so funny. And then when I moved to this city in '07, I already knew that this was a Cowboys town. I told you the story last week where Rich Dalrymple, yes, I know how it ended for Rich, but he called me the night that I got this job and congratulated me and told me about all this data they had done.
People still watch The Cosby Show.
I know
you
they
can
do.
still tell the Dick Dalrymple story.
So Dick calls me up and he tells me how much I'm going to love working in San Antonio and how much they love the Cowboys, and you can talk about us anytime you want to. And we've done all of this analytical data metrics that shows that we got more Cowboys fans pound for pound in Bear County than Dallas and all this kind of thing. So I already knew that they loved their Cowboys when I got here. But then once you get here and the season gets rolling, you do see just how much San Antonio, Texas loves the Cowboys. And that's always been a great dichotomy. The very same guy in this town that loves the fact that the Spurs are no bullshit, button up, 9-to-5ers, garbage pail, lunch pail carriers. We don't do bullshit. We have no time for drama. Our head coach is an Air Force veteran. Our best player is an island guy who doesn't want to do anything but play ball and go home and play video games.
We got one goal. Win basketball games.
That same guy who gets to stick his chest out for the sportsmanship and the old school, the way it should be mentality regarding the basketball team loves all that dominant Cowboys.
Yeah. Gonna watch every episode of that bullshit. Jerry Jones.
Gonna watch all of it.
Twice.
You'll watch it 3 times maybe. Talk to his buddies about all that fun, the White House days, and Fredo Roberts buying the house, and rando Cowboys coming in and out of the back door.
So to speak.
Yeah, so to speak. the dichotomy, I guess that's the right word, that is the Cowboy love.
The juxtaposition
The
of
juxtaposition
it.
of the Cowboys and the Kim Kardashian that are the Cowboys.
Sure.
And the old school Air Force Academy, St. Croix, small island kid, Spurs. It's always been a thing. Someone needs to write a book on this that knows how to write books.
It does feel like there's a...
Because it's the same people
Sure.
that love both teams for all these different reasons. It's like you never got any sex or like never got any drama with the Spurs, but that we don't want any. But we do love drama, which is why this fucking Britney Spears thing has gone way too far. But we still love the drama, and normally we get that from the Cowboys. But now the fact that it's involving a Spur, it's pretty funny.
So under that analogy, the Spurs are your, high school love that you married, you got kids with, you're settled down.
Okay.
It's nice and quiet. It's an easy life.
Right.
9 to 5, picket fence, no drama.
Can trust her. She's there for me. That's your wife.
And then the Cowboys are that second family you have
your whore
in Kansas.
That does all the things.
Yeah, you go on business trips 4 times a year.
That's your gumar.
Sure.
That's what the mob calls
Yes,
the side
that's
piece?
correct.
The gumar.
I believe
the
that's
Cowboys are San Antonio sports fans' gumar. And of course, like we get some bullshit lugubrious post by Britney Spears about the trauma of the incident. She's using this to get her name back in the paper.
I think all of those things can be true.
All those mental meltdowns are half bullshit. She just wants the attention. She's using this to get back on TMZ's front page.
And I think that all of that
At the
can
Spurs'
be
expense.
simultaneously true because
Sure.
I think she can be using it for publicity, overblowing the situation,
Yep.
while also saying potentially Spurs head of security overreacted as well as we get more details
it
coming
looks
out.
like it,
I
yeah.
mean, if you can say that what she did was wrong while also saying it doesn't matter if it was Britney Spears or a random non-celebrity female.
Yeah.
They didn't need to be slapped in the face if that is indeed what turns out to be true. I mean, now you're getting some police reports conflicting that.
Didn't he push her hand?
And then she hit her own hand
knocked
at
her
her head.
glasses off?
Right.
She's fine.
Exactly.
She's fine. And then they have they have this emissary or whoever this was that did this, or the Wemby's people. They go over and talk to her, apologize. I'm so sorry, I didn't know it was you. And even Britney Spears' people witness to this. The Spurs, Wembanyama's guy goes over and apologizes. Everything's cool. He talks to her security. Everything's cool, no problem. Handshakes, all good. And they still fucking call cops.
Because that's the problem right there. You're literally they're addressing this newfound celebrity that they have as a team where Britney Spears wants to come up to players unannounced. They're treating it as if they can just still do things the old school way where they actually have authentic conversations and genuinely apologize. Like, no, you just got used for publicity.
You got used.
You've got to figure out how you're going to handle this moving forward because it's only going to continue to happen.
Right. I'm almost glad
You got
this
the
happened.
most recognizable NBA player on your roster right now.
And this could not. I think this couldn't have been set up any better. Seriously.
How so?
Because not that the Spurs didn't need a reminder, but I think it reminds the city. Okay, we've got someone here that's different. This is a superstar.
It's a bit of a test, a trial.
Yeah. And it should tell the Spurs, not that they didn't already know this. We've got to make sure that when we leave the city, when we go on the road this year and go to L.A. and Chicago and Miami and New York, we got to make sure that Wemby's protected.
Yep.
No more chic restaurants in Vegas. That place was a catch. Is some chic strip. No, sorry, dude. You got to do takeout. It's
pretty good.
Or if you're going to go to, have you been there?
Yeah,
Back
in the old Wolf of Wall Street days when we worked for a house flipper.
Oh no,
we
shit.
stayed at the Wynn and Aria quite a lot.
It's not that you can't go to nice restaurants, but there are nice 5-star, 3-star Michelin restaurants in New York City when you play the Knicks where people that don't act that way go.
Sure.
Don't go to the restaurants where Britney Spears might be. There's difference.
See,
they're different.
I think there is a pathway though where if you handle things differently beforehand, you can still go to those places. Because I don't want him to have to change if he wants to go to the newest, trendiest 3-star Michelin restaurant in New York City.
Trendy's fine.
I want him to still be able to go, even if that means Jay-Z, Beyonce, whoever else is going to show up to entertain him, because you don't want him to feel like he's living in a prison.
Well,
within the organization,
kind of paying you to. It's not going to prison by making you go to a different restaurant.
Metaphorically,
go to the restaurants where Michael Bloomberg and the mayor of New York go.
Yeah.
Don't go where Jay-Z's going. They're different.
Go to the restaurants where the current mayor of New York goes, where he spills his coffee on a Google printout image of a friend he's had for years.
Sure.
Did you see that story? That's great. That's great. No, I don't
go
want
to
him,
way highbrow places,
and that's fair.
or take out room service on the road. It sucks.
It's
but
fair.
We're paying you $40 million to eat room service,
but you're not paying him $40 million to live in a hotel room every single road trip, and that could be the beginning of what later down the road is resentment towards the organization for not letting him enjoy his time,
because he's a totem of his own universe.
Sure.
Maybe he
loves
sees.
it.
Maybe he appreciates the way the Spurs are going to handle that, because they care about him. It's not just we're scared to death we're going to lose you in 2025 or whenever his contract's up. It's we care about you genuinely. We don't want you to have to deal with shit like this. It's stupid. It's not how we roll. If he's a Dallas Cowboy, Jerry's doing a presser today. Mike McCarthy's doing a press conference. Fucking news media shows up at the Star because they know the Cowboys will talk about it. The Spurs didn't say a word. And we can debate whether or not they should say something. They didn't say jack shit, did they? Because we don't do this down here. But Dennis Rodman acted like an idiot back in the mid-'90s, and they got rid of his ass, and that was pre-Timmy. Yeah. Josh Primo last year, that's what was so stunning about that, because nothing ever happens with that organization.
Yeah.
Nothing.
But
now they have this superstar in their hands, and they got it. It's different. It's different.
They're
going to have to give a little bit.
And that's
a little.
A little. That's where I get, because a lot of what you just said sounded a lot like the speech I heard from my parents whenever I was 17. And it was, look, Sam, we know it's a big party, but we're doing this for your own safety. We're keeping you home tonight
because we love
for
you.
Your own good, because we love you and we know what's best for you. Like, he's a 19-year-old kid, and you can't treat him like he's a sophomore in high school that you're keeping from going to the keg party in the past.
But he is also just a rookie.
Sure.
And he's years from being able to drink legally, so there's a balance there.
God, I
think this might be a good thing.
You think he was a wine drinker?
Probably.
In France?
What's the drinking age in Paris?
18.
18. Yeah. Sure, I bet he drinks.
That's what I'm saying. Sure. So now he's coming.
We'll do it at the house.
He can't even buy his own alcohol. No, that's gotta be a weird. I forget about some of those.
Can you run down
some of the culture?
Excuse me, is this pop? Yes. Can you go to Specs and get me some bougelage?
I do forget some of the cultural differences.
It's
there.
silly. It's over. I mean, when he plays tonight, and who cares? This is already over with. But I
don't want to see him play more than 12 to 14 minutes.
Yeah,
that's it.
Work up a sweat and get out of there.
Barely a sweat.
Barely. And work up a sweat in the warm up.
We don't
play
need to see.
Get the hell out of there.
I bet the Thunder wish Chet Holmgren hadn't played as much summer league last year.
Right. So that's it. This Spears thing will get spun into a positive, I hope, within the Spurs universe down here. Let her go get all the attention she wants. Who gives a shit?
Isn't it?
She's a whack job, and she's Hollywood to the 10th degree.
As annoying.
She's still fat?
No. She's back.
Okay. Well, see, that's why she's going to chic restaurants.
Sure, exactly.
She's looking for ways to get out there.
Doesn't she have... maybe I don't know why I looked at LG like he would know if Britney Spears has a Las Vegas residency. But LG, does Britney Spears have a residency at one of them Las Vegas casinos?
I'll get right on that.
I think that's what she's doing.
Clearly,
in Vegas
she's feeling
majority
great.
Of the
they
time
went to
now.
Vegas. She's decided I'm going to go out to a restaurant. She's out looking for publicity, and she's going to wind up having a meltdown again, or Cooter's going to wind up on TMZ, or she's going to
we can all pray
roll her car or something and bash her windshield out or whatever. And if she does, and she's still a human being and she has rights. So if she does roll her car and bash her windshield out, she can come to San Antonio and go to R&R Auto Glass, the only place you should ever go to get your car fixed when it's had the glass busted. Whether you rolled your car because you got hammered at a chic restaurant, or maybe roadside damage, or some idiot breaks in, or whatever. The thing just starts cracking and gets worse on you. R&R will fix it today. So get in there, Thunderdome, and mention us. They will give you a Taylor Especial. That's right. Since '06, they've been in business. Independently owned, mom and pop, brutal San Antonians, put money in the local economy and then put it into businesses that are local and also happen to just be the best at what they do. Only get your glass fixed at R&R and make sure you mention us and get a discount. All right? All right. What else today?
Full disclosure.
Yeah.
I fear I'm the only person in this room that has actually seen Britney Spears live in concert.
You're correct.
Okay, I figured that would be the case. Look, before you
doing?
look, okay. I was
I hope
watching.
you got dragged there by your old lady.
I was watching. It was multiple old ladies. I was watching 20 of the greatest automobile drivers in the entire world for 2 hours right before the concert.
She played at Coda.
She played after Formula
Okay.
One.
All right.
And we had to.
You get
it
a
was one of
pass.
those deals where it was like, man, it's Britney Spears. Like we kind of have to go, right? Like if nothing else, just
Yeah.
like I had a. This is
Probably didn't sing one lyric
no,
live.
God, no. It was a bunch of offbeat dancing. It was
Disaster.
awful. Just absolutely. I cannot overstate how disappointing it actually really was. But one more Britney Spears fun fact. I'm of the age at 37 years old where the internet entered our school district right when I was in junior high. So 7th grade, we had computers, typing classes, but no internet. 8th grade, Wild Wild West, full internet. They're still trying to learn how to firewall and block shit
You're
from
watching police camera
Again,
scenes of massive
watching
wrecks.
Rotten.com, looking at Rotten.com in shop class it's with the guy while my buddy's slicing a finger off.
E-Bombs World.
A lot of E-Bombs
Hell
World.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of E-Bombs World. But a lot of Homestar Runner. My buddy, literally, before they figured out how to lock down basically downloading onto a separate drive within the district, he had downloaded so many pictures of Britney Spears that it literally caused the entire junior high's internet to just slog to a crawl because he had used so much of the memory space on the junior high's drive.
Good Lord.
They finally, when they figured it out, it makes it even better because they went full like CIA on him and they were able to identify exactly what computer it was.
Yeah.
And it came down to the two people that used it most were him and this like math nerd chick. And so he was cooked. They knew it was him.
So what's the weirdest concert you've ever had? Was it Britney Spears for you? Like what's
That's
the
a
one
pretty
we thought,
weird
man,
one.
I feel pretty shitty, but I'm with a girl. I mean, like in high school, I went to a lot of concerts I didn't really want to go to.
Yeah.
Pop stars and shit.
Get the fuck out of here, man. It's my night.
I went to a Petra concert, a Christian rock band one time.
I saw DC Talk.
Well, DC Talk was greatness.
They were pretty good.
They were good, yeah. Toby Mac.
I acted like
and
I
the
didn't want to be
boys.
there, but
It's good.
I was jamming. Yeah.
No, Mind's Eye, still a good jam. No, Petra. And the only reason I went is because this individual that was in my Sunday school group was going, and she let me touch her boobs after church if I would go to the concert later that night. So, I was 12. Like,
I don't think
had
Jesus
to go.
wanted that.
No, but the concert was fine.
I saw DC Talk at the Will Rogers Memorial Coliseum in Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, long live the Will
Haven't
Rogers.
been in that building in a long time. They've changed
It's
the name
gone now, right? It's
no, it's still
Dickies
they
now.
refurbished it. It's called Dickies
Oh,
Arena.
I thought they demolished and rebuilt.
Mostly, yeah, but I think they still have some of the same old, just to save some of the
Yeah, you
history of the
gotta
old Will
save some of it,
Rogers
yeah.
built. Now it's the Dickies Arena, which I'll be actually going to for the first
Oh.
time in September.
Yeah.
My beautiful girlfriend, Nina, surprised me with Pearl Jam tickets the other day. But did I tell you that? I think I did.
You put it out.
I did. Okay, yeah, pretty cool, man. Yeah. So on
Is that
September
really their first time playing in Fort Worth?
ever they played
That
in Dallas.
seems
a ton.
crazy. Well, okay. Yeah, okay. That makes sense then.
Yeah, I've seen them 9 times. 6 times Raw Dallas.
Is that the band you've seen the most?
Yeah,
9 times?
maybe 10.
Man, I don't
that's
think...
clearly. Yeah, seen Willie 5 or 6.
Even all the years of Warped Tour and emo bands that I would see every summer, I don't think I've seen any band double-digit amount of times.
If I'm not at 10 with Pearl Jam, this will probably make it.
Oh,
10.
I take that back. I've easily seen the Toadies 24 times.
I've
just
seen
from
them
so many
5 or
times
6.
playing in DFW.
Let's see. Yeah, it's got to be pushing 10.
It's either Toadies or Bowling for Soup. Or like my most viewed.
And that band, those guys are all in their 50s now. They don't tour a lot, and they're coming to Texas for 4 dates. So, I'd like to get tickets to all. I'd go to all 4 if I could. If I could afford it. Yeah.
What do you think you're going to get differently from one show to the other?
Different set list every night, every single night.
Okay, well then that's different.
That they've got 12 records. He's got 3 solo records on his own. Thank you, Jeff Smith. That's the same Jeff Smith. It's a different.
Jeff Smith is.
What's up,
hit
Jeff?
8 for the Pirates.
Good old Jeff
86,
Smith. Now batting Jeff
Yeah,
Smith. No, I guess my buddy from high school.
Oh.
He was there on that fateful day where I said Mike Taylor Jr. second base. That's the same Jeff Smith. I think it is. What's up, Smitty?
Smitty. What a throwaway nickname.
I was thinking of, who called it that is Tom Hargrove, the all-time home run leader in TCU baseball history.
Well, then I guess it holds.
Tom Hargrove coached for a little while when I was a kid, and we played for him in summer league. And it was pretty cool because he was like 25, just got out of I think he had a cup of coffee with the A's, and he got into coaching because he was in law school. He wasn't a lawyer yet, so he coached as a side hustle in the summer. And wound up the full-time head coach at Pascal High School in Fort Worth. Then realized, I don't make any money doing this. Got his law degree and started a law firm. So anyway, I was thinking about my hometown today because I was watching that old video.
Mike Taylor Jr.
Mike Taylor Jr. Because
we'll have that one soon.
It's because, and I'll just tell you, I'll pull back the curtain. We're trying to load some of our old drops from.
I'm just saying
from the old radio station into our system here at LG Studios.
Hey, Twitter world.
There you go. See, we're loading some. So if y'all have some classics y'all want to request we go get, shoot them to me and we'll give them serious consideration. So LG's like, do you have Mike Taylor Jr. second base anywhere? And so I was watching that video this morning trying to find it. I found it and sent it to him. So anyway, I was thinking about my hometown. So I'm excited to go see that Dickies.
Okay.
But it won't be till September.
I just thought of
September
another...
13th, by the way, I can't do a show. Unless we do it from Dickies Arena. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be fun. I just thought of another drop we need, though, when you were starting to get emotional just thinking about my hometown. I swear I need Jim Nance. I gotta go pull Jim Nance talking about the Giants bench.
Oh, yeah.
Giants bench.
Giant bitch.
Giant bitch. I mean, Giants bench.
Oh, Jim.
Oh, Jim.
Biatch.
And see, we're going to have some new ones, too, that you've never heard before either. We're evolving here. So, yeah, we don't want to poo-poo on our elders, but we want some new babies here. Some new babies.
Yeah, like our new punch sounder.
That's me.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, what else today? So I've been putting together a list of things I need to catch up on, documentaries, movies, and such that I want to watch.
Did you finish The Bear yet?
Finally did.
Oh!
We're done.
Christmas episode, right?
Loved it.
Amazing.
Incredible.
We can spoil who's in Bob Odenkirk. Great.
Don't be spoiling it.
That's not. You're not spoiling the story of it.
Yeah, that's all right. That's fine.
It's got a bunch of.
Bob Odenkirk makes an appearance in that episode.
What's the short-haired?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, she's amazing. The short-haired, the one that offers him.
All right, leave a little bit. Leave a little bit to the imagination.
Sarah
there,
Paulson.
Isn't that her name?
Mm-hmm. Sarah Paulson and others.
She's great. And others.
And others. So that's enough. See, Lawrence is like me. He doesn't want to know shit. Don't tell him anything. He wants to be surprised when he sees
the beauty of a cameo is you're not expecting it.
Beauty. I know.
Exactly.
This has been reported on for months.
He didn't read about it. So he didn't read about it. He doesn't want to know, and I'm with him. Don't say anything. I don't want to know shit. I don't even want to know, like, oh, dude, they played a Pearl Jam song. Fuck you. Don't tell me that.
Yeah, they played.
I want the emotion of it to hit me in real time, organically.
Not only did
they played several Pearl Jam songs.
The soundtrack for this season was, spoiler alert.
It was Gen X, baby.
Several Pearl Jam songs.
Lots of REM.
It was also, I think, a Tangerine Dream song was even in there. Like, there was a bunch of really, really, really
the makers
songs.
of that show clearly have similar tastes in music as I do. All right, so
John Mulaney's awesome in it.
Oh my God! Stop. Okay. So there's a documentary I'm going to watch. I read about this yesterday. I might try to get him to come on. You boys want to have Dat Nguyen on?
Sure.
I love Dat Nguyen.
Aggie legend.
What a great story he is. I think he still owns the Chick-fil-A in Fort Worth on 7th Street, too. Sorry for all the Fort Worth references today.
Well,
We got nostalgic watching that video. Dat Nguyen was over at the Sports Star
Giants
before
bench.
they were called the Sport. What were they called when Dat was over there? ESPN 1250.
Yeah,
Asstown.
it's fair.
Yeah, so Dat was over there with Jason. And then Dat wanted to make more money and got out of radio smartly and opened up he bought the Chick-fil-A up on 7th Street in Fort Worth. And this was a couple of years ago I read this. I don't know if it's still true, but at one point that was the highest grossing Chick-fil-A in Texas. And that's saying something.
Yeah,
Them some
I was
bitches
about
are
to
always
say.
full. So 12th Man Foundation has a television production company. They have put together a documentary on his story, which is an amazing story. He was born in Vietnam. His parents were one of those folks you see in those grainy video footages from 1975, bailing Vietnam, getting the hell out of there. They wound up settling in an encampment for Vietnamese refugees up in Arkansas, of all places. Y'all bring them over here. You know how inclusive we are. Bring them to Arkansas.
How did in
I don't know.
in 50 years, how did we get to the point where yeah, bring your immigrants to Arkansas to now
Fuck that shit.
Fuck that, we're busing them to Martha's Vineyard.
Take her ass up there to Canada. So no, the state of Arkansas welcome with open arms
White people.
a bunch of Vietnamese refugees, and Dat spent his infancy in Arkansas. But early in his age, they moved to Rockport, Texas, because his parents were his daddy, I think, was a shrimper, and that's what they did in Vietnam, and that's what Dad did in Rockport. So they became a shrimping family, living right there on the harbor in Rockport. And Dat Nguyen grows up in Texas, falls in love with football, of course, like every Texas kid does. And winds up playing for Rockport Fulton High School, the Pirates. I sound like Craig Way. Oh, the mighty Pirates of Rockport Fulton. And turns himself into an all-state linebacker, one of the smallest dudes on the field. And bulks up enough and winds up getting a full scholarship to Texas A&M. And winds up being probably statistically the best damn defender the Aggies have ever had. Played for the Cowboys and all that. Y'all know Dat Nguyen now. You know the pro story.
What round was he drafted?
I want to say third.
I was about to say. I wanted to say
Was
second
it
or
wasn't
third.
like some shocking miracle training camp, discovery. He was an All-American at A&M. And the name of the documentary is All-American, the Dat Nguyen story. And I haven't seen the documentary. I don't know that this is in there, but
Third round pick.
I've heard Dat tell a funny story where, like, even to this day, his mom still is expecting to get a bill in the mail from Texas A&M because his mother, born and raised in Vietnam, could not comprehend that they will pay for you to go to a major university and get an education to play football
based on your athletic ability.
What is this?
And what kind of level education are you going to receive from an institution that would give you free education based on your ability to play football?
She thought she was being duped.
Sure.
They're screwing with us because we're just refugees and they're lying.
Because we're the only country in the world that does that.
And so Dad would always joke about that. My mom's still expecting a bill from A&M. So I do want to watch this documentary. I think I'll watch it next week. We'll do a report. I'll reach out to Dat and see if he wants to come on.
I have way more interest in that documentary than I do the Jerry Jones one.
No question.
Way more.
The human interest is awesome. It's a beautiful story.
And it's also a story that, I mean, like, again, what else are we going to learn about Jerry besides
he's an asshole?
He eats 3-day-old Whataburger hamburgers and puts salt on his McDonald's breakfast sandwich.
Yeah.
What else are we learning? And we're just going to see him cry a lot.
Again.
And Jimmy's going into the Ring of Honor for the Dolphins or for Miami before the Cowboys. Like, yeah,
again,
I'm tired of celebrating Jerry.
The Cowboys he could fart into a microphone, release it on Spotify, and he'd have more subscribers than we do in 1 minute. It's just the way it goes. All right, let's get some subscribers supporting my man Hank Perez. Hank. Hank. He is the official realtor of Thunderdome. There is a shortage of homes to buy right now. The prices have gone up, but the amount of houses have gone down, if that makes sense. So maybe you've been thinking about selling your place. Maybe you're like, dang, our little homestead here is gone way the hell up in property value. Matter of fact, there's an article in the Express News just yesterday. You know what side of town right now has the highest increase in homes prices in the last year in this town? East San
Side.
Antonio.
God damn it. Fucking yuppies.
So if you got a house and you're thinking, my thing may be worth a little bit of money here, call Hank from Vortex Realty. He doesn't just serve the east side of San Antonio. He serves Bernie and New Braunfels and all of San Antonio. So maybe you're thinking about, let's just at least go see what it's worth. Call or text Hank at that number. That's his direct number there, 210-300-1121. And he'll run comps on your place and tell you, hey, here's what it's worth. And that's it. Maybe you just want to know what it's worth, but maybe you're ready to sell that sumbitch. Hank's there for you. Maybe your parents are going to downsize or whatever and sell the old homestead too. They want to know what it's worth. Call Hank. No obligations. Just call my man Hank. Call him on that number or text him on your property. He'll run the comps. Really cool dude. I met him just a few weeks ago. He's super Thunderdome. Met him before, but I had forgotten about him. He actually came up to McFinnigan's for a remote one night.
Oh, nice.
Just to hang. And I never met him. Left his card with Nina. That's how I got a hold of Hank. That's how we do it, man. We're a small operation here. Hank's a longtime Thunderdomer and met him and wound up doing business with him. So it's the miracle that is Vortex Realty, and Hank Pett is the official real estate agent of Thunderdome. Hit him up for any and all things, serving all of San Antonio and Bernie and New Braunfels. 311-21. It is Hank Pettis. If you need to know what your house costs, call Hank.
Call Hank.
If you need a real estate agent for no matter what it is, he can do it all. Call Hank.
Oh, Hank.
Come on now, Hank.
All right.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
Play that again.
Come on now, Hank.
Good.
You're a redneck.
God. When did I even do that?
Last week.
couple weeks
Holy
ago.
hell.
They're probably giving you shit about something and you just decided to fire it off.
I heard that yesterday, but I didn't realize it was me.
Woo. Thought about you yesterday.
Oh, God, this makes me nervous. What
This
could
is
it possibly
What
be?
could it possibly be?
I have a few guesses, but I'd rather not disclose.
Thank you, Gabriel. You just bought a coffee. Did you see the horrible death of John Barrelson?
No, educate me.
John Barrelson, the owner and the chairman of the English Football League team Millwall FC,
No, I almost wore my Millwall shirt today.
died in a single car crash in Massachusetts on Tuesday.
Huh?
He was 70 years old.
That's too old to be driving.
Ageism.
I mean, if you got to take your driver's test at 18, you got to start taking it at 65 every
I don't
year.
disagree with that.
Yeah.
Barrelson was going, he was driving in a 2019 Range Rover about 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, no.
And cops say he lost control of his car, rolled over and hit a tree and went down an embankment and killed him. Millwall has released a statement.
John's sudden and tragic passing sucks.
This is...
Fuck all that is all fucked. It's all just fucking fuck.
Honestly, if you had read that in normal voice, I probably would have said, yeah, that's Millwall.
Yeah, this is fucked. Fuck all that's fuckable. Fuck all. That's the release by Millwall. I'm kidding. It's not.
And then just tagged, I'm Millwall. Fuck you, I'm Millwall.
Fuck you, I'm Millwall. No, they had a beautiful little statement, but it sucks for the team, man. R.I.P. So then they gave him a... Lawrence won't let me play stuff without permission, so I'm not going to play it.
That's probably a good idea. We can't lose our massive monetization stream here.
Just so to have some context for, I don't want to take Thunderdomers for granted that they all know
No, we got to reset the
third
Millwall.
level English League soccer
I think
teams.
they're in the championship now. I think they're second level.
Millwall is a legendary club in London, and they're based in, let's just call it a neighborhood similar to the one Puma lives in. It's a little rough around the edges. It's beautiful. It's got lots of history and culture, and
it's
a little
being
rough.
gentrified by the second, just like Millwall.
Get the fuck out of Millwall! And so they're known for, let's just call it what it is, soccer hoodlums. Back in the 80s and 70s, if there was a riot, 50% chance it was these blokes from Millwall.
That's more than 50% chance.
And then there's the story of, what was it, 2017, the terrorist attack? Mm-hmm. Some guy who lives in that neighborhood in England, he's eating in a restaurant, some fuckhead walks in there with a knife and starts stabbing people. And this guy jumps up and tackles the terrorist with a knife in his hand, and this guy gets stabbed all up. He's alive, but he, like, in his adrenaline, he saved lives that night, no doubt.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of the dude.
Beat the shit out of the dude. And got stabbed all up in the process.
It was like 100 and something stab wounds. I mean,
he was in the hospital for weeks.
Yeah.
But at one point, with his adrenaline, he stands up over the guy and goes, "Fuck you, I'm Millwall." To the terrorist.
So the terrorist walks in, and this is from the own guy's account, because this is what makes it even better.
Right.
No, not besmirching any one specific religion, but it just so happened to be an Islamic terrorist.
Just so happened
So
to
he
be
walks
Islamic
into the
terrorist.
pub
Yeah.
and starts screaming, this is for Muhammad, this is for, Muhammad this, Muhammad that.
Allah Akbar, all that
exactly.
shit.
And
Yeah.
the guy says, I don't know what came over me, but my first response was, no, fuck you, I'm Millwall.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck Allah,
Yeah.
I'm Millwall.
I'm Millwall. Your God is worthless to you here. You're in Millwall.
You are. If you're a terrorist, you are not welcome in Millwall, and you take your life in your own
Get
hands.
the fuck out of here, man.
It's very get the fuck out of here, man. Millwall's only been in the Premier League for 2 seasons in their entire 130-something year existence.
And they're still one of the most popular clubs in the world because
Uh-huh.
of that fan base and that passion and all that kind of shit. It's pretty cool. All right,
Pretty envious.
Puma sent me this today. He wanted to get into this.
What did I send you?
Well, because he knows anytime there's a sword attack involved, I'm excited.
Yes. You and I both.
A man I'm reading this from KSAT.com in San Antonio, Texas. I only say that because you never know who might watch this show. A man is in critical condition after he was struck by a sword during an argument on the Northwest Side.
First of all,
I did not read this so you could do that.
have you ever...
I had no idea he had that.
This is great. Have you ever one time in your life been in a situation where you thought, I might get stabbed by a sword tonight?
No,
Ever. Never.
I don't hang out with
Ever.
people that have
No,
swords.
God, no. I don't like the only time I've come close is sitting like front row at medieval times. Like I'm not
And thought they were crazy.
really 100%.
Yeah. I would never party with that guy.
well.
Supervised.
You
but don't live
supervise.
with
Yeah.
him.
No.
Don't live with him.
I bet they've got some good stuff.
This
So
happened.
I had a next door neighbor.
Oh,
hold on.
God.
Well, yeah, that
What now?
he would literally walk. This ties in with the captain. Actually, he would literally walk up and down the street with various swords on his back. Like I lived on a cul-de-sac, so it was a tight knit
Yeah.
kind of with the neighbors. This is my next door neighbor, and the captain actually was roommates with this guy.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Yeah. So we'll have to get into that.
Yeah,
but
we
yeah,
need to-
I don't want to say his name on the air,
It's
but
probably better.
yeah, but the dude
he-
had a crazy sword collection and would just walk around with them for no reason.
Is he a reformed sword guy now, or is he still even among us living?
He's around.
Okay.
Yeah, he's around. So
I wonder if he's still a sword guy. If it's once a sword guy, always a sword guy.
we'll have to find out. Sorry to interrupt the
No,
story.
it's
no,
okay.
it's
It's okay because there are exceptions, but usually
No.
if you have
No.
you don't go to someone's house and they have one sword on display. They're always going to wind up having more. People that like swords are weird.
If there's one sword, it's like a
I'll
cockroach.
party with him.
If you see a roach,
Don't want to live with them.
one means there's 100. Like you see one sword, dude's got a whole closet of a weaponry.
A man's in critical condition after he got struck by a sword during an argument on the Northwest Side. 10:30 p.m. Saturday night on the 200 block of West Broadview Drive.
Time to launch sword control initiatives.
Police said that they received a call from a man who said he had, quote, hit a person with a sword. Oh, he called on himself.
he did the sling blade. I reckon you ought to bring.
I done killed him with a sword. All right, man. I'm gonna sit here and wait for you.
Don't make me slap the piss out of you.
We don't need no goddamn band.
Sorry. After you brought this up,
You
I had to
know better
reenact
talk
it.
to me
I
like
know.
that when I'm hurting, Linda.
I said get the fuck out of my house.
That goes for y'all need to watch the movie because I don't want to say it.
Yeah, stop. We're good. We're good there. It's a good reference.
Guy calls on himself. When officers arrived, they found another man who had a severe laceration to his neck. The sword was found nearby. The sword has not been reached for comment.
Okay.
I'm just just sitting here on the wall. This asshole picked me up and made me hit this guy in the neck.
Oh, can we interview the Sword Monday, once we...
Yeah, I was just minding my own business.
How does? Let me ask you this: Are you the roommate, or is it the actual guy that owns you? Because I feel like Sword guys are driven by.
Well, I was minding my own business. I was just sitting on a shelf in Trader's Village, and some asshole bought me. For whatever reason, me and my whole family, every time we get purchases by some fucking crazy man, bunch of serial killers. That's all that buys my family.
It's nothing but like 10-year-olds or 40-year-old meth heads. There's no in between. I feel like the direct correlation of Sword guy pretty much aligns with meth user. I think there's a lot of overcrossing in that Venn diagram.
Oh, jeez. All right, that's it. We're done. God almighty. All right, what are you boys doing for the weekend? Y'all got any plans? What are we doing? I gotta go watch Wembanyama. I don't know. I may stay home. We'll see.
I think we're gonna go watch it at a bar. I want to.
What if he plays for 1 minute?
Well, but I'm
If
sure
you
he
go
will.
somewhere, roll on the reaction.
Right. I
will
want to.
too.
I want to see if there is because it. I
Got
think
me
that
snot-
passion's back.
blowing snot.
Swords. Fuck you. I'm Millwall. Millwall people own swords.
They do,
No
and I want to
question.
party with him.
Sure.
But we're not going to be
But,
roommates.
yeah.
Because the first time I drink all the milk and he doesn't have any milk for his cereal,
You
guess
lose
what?
an ear.
That's it. We're done. Love you all hard. We'll see you Monday.
Come back, you puppy!
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
This is a Ross Barry.